All right. Well, that was like being poked in the eye for like 4 hours straight. We're going to talk about the Colts. We're going to talk about what happened in this game. All on this fresh reaction on Indiana Sports Connection. Let's get right into it.
You can't make this.
All right, well, the Indianapolis Colts, we just saw them get beat by the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't even remember what the final score was. The Colts, I mean, it seemed like from the beginning of the game on, that was the thing. The Colts came out of the gate. That felt really positive about that first drive. I mean, when I was watching them drive down the field, I'm like, this is, yes, this is what they have to do. This is what they need to do. Run the ball, or they didn't run the ball a lot in that first drive, but they were passing the ball to move the sticks and to make their way down the field. And they took a bunch of time off the clock with that first drive. And all I was thinking was positive thoughts. Like, they get the Colts, they got it. They're really, the Colts are really playing the style of game that they need to play. And then after that first drive, it just all came unraveled. Jacksonville went right down the field on their first drive, scored. And that's not their strong suit. Jacksonville had not scored on an opening drive all year long. But they get that first touchdown on the Colts, go up 7-3. Next series, Gardner Minshew, and I mean, pardon my French here if you have PTSD from the Matt Ryan years, watching Matt Ryan last year. Minshew, I mean, their biggest playmaker, Josh Allen, comes around the edge, knocks the ball out of Minshew's hands. And yeah, I was thinking, did Matt Ryan come in overnight and steal Gardner Minshew's brain and switch the brains? Because that was definitely a Matt Ryan play from last year. Just not seeing the pressure. Minshew's done such a great job of holding onto the ball and not turning the ball over. His career, lifetime as a quarterback, he's like a 3-1, 3 touchdowns for every interception or turnover that he commits. This game was the exact opposite. He had 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, 1 fumble, and it just all came unraveled. Jacksonville got the ball back from the Colts, and that first after that first turnover, made it 14-3, and then it was just uphill sledding the entire time for the Colts. And they were never really able to get back within the game. It was 21-3, then it was 21-6 at halftime. Colts did a great job of trying to come back in this game and never giving up. But I think we all knew it was going to be really tough for them to come back in this game. They couldn't run the ball. Jacksonville, seemingly, their defense, the type of defense Jacksonville played on the Colts in that game, is how the Colts are going to be played the rest of the year when Gardner Minshew is the starting quarterback. And so this is going to be difficult. Now we see what it's like, a good team like Jacksonville. Because when the Colts played Jacksonville the first game, I came away from that game thinking, the Colts did pretty well. I felt like they were ahead 16-20 in the fourth quarter of that game. I thought the Colts in that first game, Jacksonville wasn't that much ahead of them. And then in this game, you come away in this game thinking the Colts have a long way to go to be as good as the Jacksonville Jaguars or better. They are definitely, now that we're a little bit further into the season, the Jaguars are 4-2. And that's why this game was really kind of painful to watch, because it was just like the slow death of the Colts. It felt so close, but so far, because the Colts, they could have went to 4-2 today and been in the lead in the division. But now we see why they're not, because when they have to play the cream of the division and Lawrence and everything like that. And to him, I mean, I hope he is okay. He kind of tweaked an ankle on a last second play. That really, I really didn't like to see that for him, because let's face it, when Jacksonville plays against the Chiefs or some of these teams, the Bengals in the playoffs, I will be rooting for Jacksonville. They will be the team I will be rooting for. They're just not one of those teams that's that easy to really hate. I mean, they're not like the Patriots. They're not like a rival of the Colts. The Colts have beaten them so badly in the years when Manning was there. Now I'm rambling on and on and on. But so Jacksonville, they played a great game. I'm going to say Jacksonville is a really good team. They're a really well-rounded team. They have a really good defensive line, like practically in every category. They have really good wide receivers on the outside now. They were missing one of their main wide receivers as well. They have a really good running attack too. Really tough. That ETN got out to the edge on the Colts. I mean, not a lot of players have been able to really run the ball like that on the Colts, but Jacksonville has a pretty good 1-2 punch on the ground game. All this stuff we need to take into account because the Colts were beaten badly by the Jaguars, but this is where the Jaguars are where the Colts want to be. They are what the Colts want to be. They got their quarterback, they got their guy, now they're building the pieces around it, and they're going to be fine-tuning that so that they can win a Super Bowl. They got their pieces, they got their guy. The Colts want to be that, and they just are not that. Gardner Minshew, while he may be in the top 32 quarterbacks in the world, may be good enough to be a starter in this game today, I think he proved, and I'm going to probably hear it from any Minshew lovers out there, but it is just very clear that Minshew is a backup quarterback. He is not an above 500 even as a backup, and the Colts are going to have to, I don't know what they're going to have to do. The Colts are lost right now. I will say this about the Colts. Their roster construction is very good. They are just the quarterback away from being competitive in the NFL. That being said, there are quarterbacks out there. I feel like the Colts, we're just going to have to see how this season goes. The Colts might only win 3 or 4 games, and I'm getting far ahead of myself, but all I can say is that it's like Gardner Minshew is, I think he had a bad day today, and on top of that, it was just not a good day to have a bad day, and everything really came unraveled very quickly for him and the Colts and everything, and it got off to such a great start. I was having a lot of hope after watching that first drive, even the second drive, but after some of the turnovers started coming out. And hey, I mean, the bottom line is, in the NFL, if you're playing quarterback, you have to accurately be able to throw the ball accurately 50 yards down the field. And Gardner Minshew just can't do that. So when you look at the defense that Jacksonville was playing, everybody's in zone coverage. Everybody's just got their eyes right on this guy, and then they're bringing pressure, and they know that he's not going to throw it over their head. He had a really nice couple of balls late in the game to Mallory and to Pittman down the field with great anticipation throws. There needs to be more of that going forward with Gardner Minshew. Surprise plays where he's going to anticipate a long throw down the field and get the ball in like a 2 or 3 step drop, throw some deep. Pierce made a couple of really nice catches in this game and really made one across the middle where he came back towards the ball, made a really nice catch. And then he got injured in the game and hurt his ankle. And also, great bright spot, Josh Downs just keeps playing better and better. I love Josh Downs. This guy is just really, as a rookie, taking huge strides and getting open in the open field. And Will Mallory had another nice catch. That's all I have for you today. It was a really bad day for the Colts. Let's try to look at the positives and stay positive. If you are new here, subscribe to the channel. We talk about the Colts here, and I make videos all the dang time about the Colts and about what's happening with them. I'll be making another video tomorrow morning, and we'll talk more about some of the X's and O's and the stats and everything like that. This was just a reaction video to how the game ended up. And I really knew this was going to be a tough game for the Colts. Minshew did his best. You can't turn the ball over like that on the road because that's what you're going to get in the end. They did a great job fighting in the very end of this game. But all in all, the Colts, they're going to have a really tough time beating a team like this. It really shows where the Colts are. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they are a very well-coached, well-rounded team. And you can see Jacksonville is better than where the Titans are. Talent-wise, the Jacksonville Jaguars just have a lot more talent. The Tennessee Titans are a very well-coached team and everything like that, but they just don't have the talent that Jacksonville has at the quarterback spot and at some of the wide receiver spots, and also in some of the getting after the quarterback. Jacksonville did a much better job getting after Gardner Minshew and making him throw some of those wobbly ducks out in the secondary that just got picked off. So thank you so much for joining me on this reaction. We'll talk more about the Colts tomorrow. The season, there are 12 more games left, so every week we're going to be marching out there and see what the Colts can do. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Indiana Sports Connection. Until tomorrow, stay classy out there, Colts fans.